Well, today I'm going to talk about something that I've talked about before, and it's the return to office phenomenon that came into existence after the COVID lockdown. As we all know, technology has proved remote work is productive, and office work can be done in the comfort of one's own home and in the comfort of one's own sweatpants, all making it very difficult for employers to get employees back in the office and back to business as usual, if there is such a thing. As you would expect, this topic is going to be remaining in our conversation until the new norm. So the latest trend I found, which I found to be curious, was one published in a recent New York Times article. And the article states, and I quote, "Creators on TikTok becomes the norm or another major shift occurs." TikTok, some new to the workforce, are trying to show that the office can be fun. The subject of this article is a young marketing professional. And this individual didn't think there was anything especially exciting about her job in publishing. But when she took some shots of the downtown area around her building, the views from her floor, the shelves of books decorating the space, and edited them in a TikTok video and added gentle music, she started to see her job and office life in general in a whole new way. So did her viewers. Overnight, the video was watched by more than 100,000 times. So the article continues to cite the reason for this viral success, and I quote, "It's the collision of a few trends. The subject is a Gen Z office worker more enamored of the daily grind than some of her older colleagues, in part because physical office remains a novelty." I mean, can you imagine that? Physical office remains a novelty. Who would ever have thought that? So let's explore this a little further. So when you think about this, just like the centennial generation has never known life without social networks or an internet, there's a group of first-time office workers who entered the workforce during the pandemic who may never know the 5-day in-office work week. And as we see the work from home trend continue, new entrants into the workforce post-pandemic may never know what was once the universally accepted standard. Commute to your office 5 days a week and put in your 8 hours from 9 to 5. So there are two aspects of this trend that I think are worth considering. First, there is a generation that looks to TikTok for their information, advice, and knowledge. As a matter of fact, these day-in-the-life office videos all overlap with something called career TikTok, where creators give advice about getting a job or how to write a cover letter or how to edit their resume. These TikTokers have the power to influence how people view corporate life. And the viewers would rather seek this point of view from the TikTok influencers than company-sponsored channels. Certain companies have seen this trend and are trying to use it, and many large companies like Target and Chipotle already use the platform for recruiting. So that's the first thing. Second, there is a generation of new office workers who don't know what it is like to work in an office on a regular basis. I mean, there's a positive side to this. Think of the norms and physical cues that become absolutely meaningless. For example, there's no such thing as the status of a corner office when you're on a Zoom call. Or there's no wondering why your boss is working behind closed doors all day. Or there's no unnecessary staying late in the office to make it look like you're dedicated. So those things go away. So that's kind of positive. However, as we know, there is merit to working on site. The camaraderie, the relationship building, the trust building, the positive social norms, such as celebratory events, live impromptu interactions and exchange of ideas and expertise, mentoring from actual experts, and the meeting of new people outside your immediate team, the ease of collaboration. I mean, that's just to name a few. So what's the takeaway from all this? Well, let's start with influence. This new generation of workers are looking to new channels for information and are influenced by social media well beyond what to wear and the latest dance moves. Career and work advice has now moved into this space. We as leaders need to consider this space ignored. And the second piece of this is leadership. When you think about it, the current generation of senior leaders have risen through the ranks in the traditional, inflexible, in-office model. And these same leaders are responsible for developing the next generation of leaders who are experiencing, in some ways demanding, a very different reality. It just can't be. We need to lead through the lens of this new reality and seek ways to maximize success. It requires a thoughtful point of view about where and when work gets done, and it requires communicating that point of view. You know, the phrase, "it's the way we've always done it," is never a good reason not to change and is never the way forward. We need to seek new and different ways of working in this new reality because it's here to stay.